Things like
What up, virtual people? Welcome to the 121st episode of VCR Redux. We take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2023. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most, film professor Ian Klink.
How you doing, everybody?
And we have two radical guests on the show tonight. First up, our own tri-host from Rick Barth in the line. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. Mickey Torres is back on the show.
What's up, everyone?
And rounding out this righteous crew, he's one half of the creative genius behind Retrofeed Radio, makers of the finest canon and martial arts docs on the internet. Dustin Nino's back on the show.
Nino!
El Nino!
What up, everyone?
Thank you so much for storming back onto the scene. We are here today to play Nintendo with the Mario Mafia, to sip cappuccino with Danny Aiello, and to fetch Bunny's ball. That's right, folks. This world needs Hudson Hawk 2 Hawkamania, and we're here to give it to you. But faster than you can say Andy McDowell, we got a dish on how Hudson Hawk came into our lives and what we love about it. And of course, that goes for everyone watching the live chat as well. Was it Love at First Laserdisc, Vital VHS? Hit us up in the chat and let us know how Hudson Hawk came into your lives. So, Dustin, do you remember the first time you got hawked?
Oh, stop it. God, why do we have to do this every
Come on. Of
So-
course we do.
Oh, as many things that can get you to we're gonna do. It's just the fun of the show.
Yep.
All dozens of our viewers agree.
Right, exactly.
All dozen of them.
Oh, wow. But everyone
we love everyone. The baker's dozen. We love everyone.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
That's right.
You're the dirty dozen, and that's why we love you.
That's right. Yep.
Off the freaking hats, you nards!
I'm saying, I wish I had a Hudson Hawk hat.
Dude, you got to show out for the Hawk.
Dude. I do.
No,
I dropped the ball now.
gosh.
Respect will be paid to the Hawk.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
I'm out.
This ain't no Frank Stallone.
Out.
This is the great Bruce Willis. Dustin, again, I want to know the stats. Where, why, and when you got hawked.
You know, this is one of those movies I chalked up to. I can't remember the first time I saw it, but it was I put it in the category of one of those movies that that was always on, like HBO or something like that. And so you would just watch it. You know, it's because there's nothing else on, and this is what was on. So you'd see it a million times as a kid, and it's just one of those movies. Like I said, I don't remember like the first time I'm watching it, but it's just one of those movies that was always there. And
This is such a 90s cable movie, though.
It is.
It's like it would be. It would be like right between Cool World and Big Girls Don't Cry, They Get Even. You know,
right?
Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
the shit you watch on 90s HBO, you know, the movie channel or something like that. Yeah, it's definitely a TMC, a movie channel kind of flick.
Nothing like a Gabriel Byrne and a freaking Griffin Dunn party.
Oh,
It would be
Griffin
like
Dunn can do no fucking wrong. All right,
Yeah.
that's all I'm gonna say. The man is perfection.
Right after
Perfect
Silk
actor.
Stockings and In Between Wings, you'd watch Hudson Hawk.
Yes, USA. Oh,
Stockings.
yes, USA Network.
Love me
man.
some silk
Bring me
stockings.
back.
Silk
Oh, yeah.
stockings was
Right.
the best.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
we're in a time warp, folks, and we're almost
Parker
all the way
Lewis
back to
Can't Lose,
1992.
followed by American Gladiators, followed by
Exactly.
freaking
Yeah.
Dude, with a Bigfoot pizza from Little
Portuguese
Caesars and
Right.
Hudson Hawk from Blockbuster.
Some Highlander, the series reruns.
Oh,
you know,
God.
it'd
Yes.
just be
That's Highlander.
Oof.
yeah.
Is it getting warm in here? Is it getting warm in here? It's just me.
Right. It's like
Speaking of-
it's comfort food. You know what I mean? It's a cheeseburger on a weekend. It's pizza with the boys. You know, it's
Oh, man. Well,
it's
leave the
Hudson
cheese
Hawk.
off for me and Mickey. But Mickey, what were the stats on this for you? Did you see this on a McDate in the theaters? You know, we talking HBO, rental, Palmer Video?
No, I think it's the HBO. I definitely like I wasn't a huge Bruce Willis fan. I liked him and everything else like that, and Die Hard and everything else like that. But this movie just, I don't know, it just didn't catch my attention. But I was seeing it on HBO, And then doing the rewatch too, I'm like, it's not a bad flick, and it's got Danny Aiello, and I love Danny Aiello. So all the good people that I from this movie cancel out the Andy McDowell factor for me.
What was
I'll
that?
never understand
Andy
your.
McDowell's what makes you not like this.
Yeah,
No.
she's the
I
best part
like
of
it despite her. See, I have this
He
thing.
is not a fan of hers.
Oh,
we've
you don't
we've
like
we've
Andy
uncovered
McDowell?
this in past
Yeah.
VCRs.
I think I remember this.
Yeah,
She's the
this
same.
is
She's
the
same
ghost of
character.
VCR past still haunts the show, and I'll never understand it. Annie McDowell is in like that Griffin Dunn category for me, where just like every time she shows up, it's like, oh, she only makes like classic movies like fucking Multiplicity or Hudson Hawk, like what can you name that she's done that's not amazing? Name one movie that's not like perfect.
I can't.
Groundhog
That was
Day.
my
Come on.
argument, though. It's like there's nothing of solidarity in it.
But it's not her that makes these movies. And then like, I mean, they're good. Some of them are good despite her.
If she no, you know what? If she was a dud, it would have sunk in Groundhog Day, and Groundhog Day is a perfect film.
But that's Bill Murray. Come on, man. That's
not
Andy, we talked about this. It's not Andy McDowell.
It's not Andy McDowell. Like
it's Bill Murray.
You could have had a cardboard cutout in that spot.
But you want him to get Andy McDowell because she's so amazing.
Just because she's the lead girl in the movie, but like it doesn't matter. You could have replaced her with any actress. To me.
Well, anyways, go back and watch our Groundhog Day episode after you finish.
Where was Julie Bowen? Where was Julie Bowen at the time? She could have been better.
Bowen. She wasn't even a gleam in Grandma Gilmore's eye yet when they were making Hudson Hawk. Julie Bowen, I don't think she was on the scene yet. I don't know.
Oh man, how cool would it have been if they had gotten Sybil Shepherd? That would have even been better.
No, that would have been like too much. Again, like the weight of it. Like it'd be like, is this a moonlighting movie? Is that what this is? What,
could we have gotten Meg Ryan? Meg Ryan, maybe?
Meg Ryan was too young.
She had a big name. Maybe Julia Roberts. If you're gonna recast the great Andy McDowell, which I would not do, but I would guess.
What are we recasting her in?
This movie. In this movie. Well, I mean, you can recast her in everything.
I'm saying dogs.
So anyway, HBO for me. HBO for me.
Well, curiously enough, I would ask Ian, but I think he muted himself because I think his dog is barking.
I did for a second. The dog is barking. I apologize. But
how did young Iowa Ian get hawked?
Oh God. I'm gonna remute myself. I listen. There are things in this life worth trying. Okay, stopping by an antique store, buying a nice little, table set with some chairs,
having a cappuccino,
sitting down in the chair and enjoying your purchase. However, the feeling you get from that is not what you get when you sit down after you've rented Hudson Hawk. The feeling you get is close to, I hate everything about my life right now, and I'm going to rethink the entire structure from when I wake up in the morning to when I go to bed at night. And that is what I feel like every time I've tried to watch this garbage of a movie.
This is a film that challenges you that much and you shit all over it. It makes you rethink every moment of life.
I'd rather take a dump than watch Hudson Hawk. I'm not going to dump on it. I'd rather be dumping because I get more out of that than I do out of Hudson Hawk.
You are a fucking mystery wrapped in an enigma buried underneath a puzzle, my friend. I swear.
But
I
very distinctly remember a time in my life when, I rented this, and I don't even remember. I'm going to be flat out honest. I hated the experience so much. I don't remember when it was. I just remember I got halfway through the movie and I paused it and I said to myself, self,
what am I watching?
Is this what your life has become? I mean, you literally grab your phone, you flip the little screen so it's like seeing you, and you're looking at yourself going, this is my life right now. Like,
hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, like do better. That's all I can say. Like I watch Hudson Hawk and I say, do better in this world.
Man,
do better in this world. I
Like,
would
if ever there was a speech, what are you? Are you like?
so bad?
Are you running for Congress or something? Are you trying to impress your country club friends
if
again?
I was running for office, my first pig ear thing that I would put buried in 700-page document is outlaw this movie.
I just don't know. I just don't know how
the most
you
elitist thing that has ever been said on this show.
For someone who's against
I'm personally
books.
offended for the sake of Sandra Bernhardt and Richard E. Grant.
She's great. She's
I'm
great
offended.
too.
On the name of Da Vinci, I am offended. This movie is the best thing that ever happened to that man. I'm telling you, we wouldn't even know who he was.
Frank Stallone.
Yeah, that's right. Da Vinci's lucky Frank Stallone came around and threw some respect on his name.
I'd rather, if this movie had Frank Stallone, at least I would have something to watch.
It does. Have you seen the film?
It's
got Frank Stallone.
If he was the star, but what do I get? I get this turd who's sitting there trying to make me like this movie.
But you think
you're giving me sequel ideas way too early, my friend. Take it down a smidge, all right? Because the Hudson Hawk hate will not stand. Will not stand.
That's also blasphemy to say that Frank Stallone would have been a better lead than Bruce Willis in this movie.
You are talking to a man that has the Return of Bruno VHS tape. I have Bruno, all right? Don't talk to me about being a fan of Bruce Willis. This fart from a duck's butt that came out into the video stores is awful. It's just
sounds like it's pretty wet and wild to me. I'm just saying.
I want you all to just admit it right here, right now. Be the better person and admit that you don't like this movie.
Well, what if we replace Willis with Richard Mazer? Would that make the movie better?
Oh, God, well, anything with Richard Mazer. Give it an Academy Award then if it's Richard Mazer. God, get out of here. Like, come on.
I think Bruce Willis is perfect. He's the only guy that could have carried this movie to its perfection, the wonderful, perfect status that it achieved. We'll break that down in a sec. I do want to say hi to everyone in the chat. Let's see who's in there today. I was right at the beginning of the chat and then it went off my screen. So I see Miyagi-Do Forever, Angie Saunders, Alex Bonafonte, Gold's Code in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. Alex Bonafonte says, ladies love the Hawk. I got to agree. Gold's Code says, get hawked. It's just a thing, Ian. It's never going away. Deal with it. Alex Bonafonte says, I theater hopped into it after Siskel said it sucked. I enjoyed it and it made me like Danny Aiello. We are simpatico.
I love Danny Aiello. Let me
this is the movie that made me love Danny Aiello.
Danny Aiello can't do any wrong for me. Like that's another. I mean, like I love Danny Aiello. Like probably my favorite Danny Aiello will always be Do the Right Thing, but to
me it's Hudson Hawk. I mean, Moonstruck as well, though. Moonstruck is so goddamn good.
Mm-hmm.
That's my mom's favorite movie of all time. So always got to, have some love for the Moonstruck. Gold's Code says he got hawked when he played the Nintendo game, which was terrible. Doesn't recall the movie, and he is just here for Dustin and Mickey, not you, Ian.
Nice.
He also says that Hudson Hawk can be improved with some downhill rollerblading races. That sounds like foreshadowing for the second half hour of our show, which I eagerly await. To which Alex Bonafonte agrees. Some love for, it's a crazy movie. So says Angie Saunders, the mashup genius. It's short. Gold's Code says outlaw Hudson Hawk, damn the man, and save the airborne. This is crazy. I don't know what's going on in the chat. I don't know what world I'm in, but I used to be in a world where the movie Hudson Hawk was celebrated. And I used to love this movie.
Never lived in that world. That is a dimension off of planet X9742.
Let me tell you something, my friend. You create your reality. And in the Midwest, in the early 90s, I rented this beautiful Columbia video cassette from Blockbuster Video, and I put it in my in my VCP. It didn't even record. It was a play-only VCR, and I watched it on my wood panel TV, and it was wonderful. I loved it, and I said, this is what's cool. 8-year-old me was like, I get it now. this is totally what's cool. It's Bruce Willis in this movie. This is way cooler than Die Hard. Like, he's got style. He knows these like songs. He's singing show tunes and ripping shit off and kissing Andy McDowell. Like, this is, and literally I told all my friends, I was like, guys, like, you want to know what cool is? Like, you come over and we'll watch Hudson Hawk and you'll like understand what it is to be cool. And like, there wasn't a kid that came over that wasn't like, fuck, you're right. That is cool as shit. I'm telling you, I had 8-year-olds running around the playground singing Swinging on a Star, because that's the world that I created for myself and for everyone. That's what I did.
I saw it.
What have you done?
In my 20s when I saw Hudson Hawk. So I mean, I was past the.
You were too old to ride this hawk. That's all there is to it.
I hate everything you just said. Just as much as this movie.
You couldn't catch the excitement because your arthritis. You couldn't catch the adventure because your attitude, and you couldn't catch the hawk because of your country club pending membership status.
There you go.
This explains everything. I'm telling you. I knew it.
And you do. You're dressed almost like somebody that would be in the Vatican, Ian.
Oh yeah, yeah. This one's got James Coburn, and you sneeze at that too. Come on.
And it's got scary German guy.
There was a
German guy.
This David does have scary German guy. You're right.
Yeah.
Listen, this is a MacArthur's Park. All right. They left the cake out in the rain, and I don't think that they could ever make it again. The recipe was perfect. They had all the right ingredients, but what misfired in this movie? What?
You tell me. I'm like,
I know. I can explain it to you. If you and your country club friends could handle it.
Sir, I yield the floor to you. Go ahead.
All right. Sometimes genius is so fucking far ahead of its time that 30 years go by and people still don't know it if it sits on their face and starts to wiggle. And this is one of those times. This should have been what Austin Powers became. This should have been what Blank Man wanted to be. This should have been a lot of things, but we were just too stupid.
Whoa. Go. Let's go back in the Wayback Time Machine to about 5 seconds ago when you said the most asinine statement I've ever heard out of those lips. All right. How in the world can you compare Hudson Hawk to Austin Powers? How?
Well, Austin Powers.
It's a parody of
sucks.
Adventure movies. Austin Powers is a parody of spy movies. This is something that like people just didn't realize. It's sort of making fun of like this Indiana Jones kind of thing. And they didn't realize, they thought it was serious, and Columbia marketed it like a serious movie.
That's what they forgot. They forgot the humor. That's the ingredient they forgot. Okay, now I understand why the cake tasted.
Well, there's some humor in this. I mean,
Bruce, I feel like Bruce is off his ass trying to make the movie funnier. I'll give you that. And he does a great job. Like, he literally, there's a car chase scene where he rides a fucking hospital gurney. It's wonderful. He pays a toll with exact change. Come on. It's fantastic. Like, it's fantastic.
It's ludicrous fun. Ludicrous fun.
It is, yeah.
No,
Richard E. Grant like humping the air saying, money will always be paper,
Look,
but gold.
Here's the thing, like, this movie is like, it's not like a masterpiece, but it's very good. It entertains. I like the story. It goes along. It's not anything that, offensive about it or anything like that, in my opinion, as far as like a movie that sucks. But I can't get with you when you're talking about like Austin Powers. Austin Powers to me absolutely sucks. I can't even stand like one scene of Austin Powers because I hate Mike Myers. So I get, I mean, like, but I get it. I don't like the SNL jokes and all that stuff, but like this movie is basically like starting from or really like you look at National Treasure, you look at Da Vinci Code, and they got this movie to thank for it. I mean, this movie
spoofed those movies before they even existed. That's how fucking genius this movie is.
And I really didn't even see this as a spoof, to be honest. I saw this as a great little like New York, New Jersey kind of like
talk to me,
like cat burglar kind of thing. Like, dude, it's a good premise. And then all of a sudden he's in Rome. I mean, it's like, take a guy from Jersey, New York, and throw him in fucking Rome in Italy. And then he's got to steal like the freaking, Da Vinci Codex or whatever like that, and steal all these like antiques. Like, and we're not talking about like antiques, like probably, his crimes before were probably simple, like steal a picture, steal this, or steal whatever, not steal like Da Vinci's, like, like horse and stuff like national treasures. Coincidentally, he would like, but in any event, like he would like, it was funny to watch this go down. And then you got Danny Aiello coming up with these like big plans and stuff like that. And it's just a fun little like street kind of movie. It's not offensive in any way. I can see like maybe you don't like, I mean, at 20 years old, you're sitting there probably like, looking at like, oh, I want to be a theater guy and this and that, and I want to go into movies or whatever like that. You're dissecting this like through those lenses. You're gonna find total fault with this. This is like Fast and Furious. This is like literally like good popcorn movie. Good, like watch the movie, enjoy the movie. You're gonna get a few laughs. There's not a comedian in there, so you're not like looking for like, oh my god, I'm falling off the chair laughs. But it's good stuff.
That's my problem.
Sandra Bernhardt is hilarious.
Yeah, she's great.
I wanted Fletch. I wanted Cat Burglar Fletch.
But you got those.
But that's not Bruce Willis. I think that's my issue. He, though funny, like
okay, hot shot.
Yeah.
Who the fuck else could have led this movie in 1992?
I have to think about that, but I wouldn't say Chevy Chase. I mean
You goddamn right you wouldn't say Chevy Chase.
I mean maybe this is more pitching, but it's like Ryan Reynolds would have.
He wasn't. He was like fucking 8 years old back then.
Sir, if I can talk, what I just said was, if I was doing pitching, I would say Ryan Reynolds. If you gave me,
no, you would do Robert Downey Jr.
If you gave me then, if you gave me then,
honestly, even then, Downey
Dan
might have
Aykroyd.
been.
Like Dan Aykroyd.
This would have been Dr. Detroit all over again.
It would have been. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't agree with it, but at least Dan or Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks, which I know Tom Hanks.
You're just looking for the other bonfire of the Vanities fucking co-star.
Well, but Tom Hanks has the fun feel of it. I really do believe that my issue watching it is I feel that Bruce is trying so hard to be funny in this. Like, it's not Moonlight. It's not Moonlighting, which I feel people went into this thinking, oh, he's gonna give us what's his name in the show? I can't remember. What's his name in the show in Moonlighting?
David Adelson.
David Adelson. It's like, oh, good, we're gonna have a David Adelson moment. And it's not. It's completely a different performance. Now, let me also say this, though. Damn it, if I had that script, I couldn't do as better as he did with this material. So I give him full credit for that. But
all right,
I would rather have had David Edelson as Hudson Hawk. Like, just go in there and be charming. Go in there and don't try to be.
I don't get this. I just want him to do what he already did on TV for years. But no, I want him to do new things, different things. This is great. This is not John McClane. It's not Joe Hallenbeck. It's not David Adelson. You know, this is one of Bruce Willis's most unique performance. This is the one where he plays the psycho killer. Well, Color of Night's wonderful. We should do that on fucking VCR, dude. Color of Night 2, Color of Night Rises. Oh, bro.
Let's give some respect to Bruce Willis. I mean, like, I get, like, I mean, like, yeah, okay. I mean, I can see where you can say, like, well, the script wasn't great. But again, I just don't find anything so utterly offensive about this movie that I'm like, literally,
the problem with the movie, like Stiles said earlier, was it was marketed poorly. Completely, they were honest about what the movie was, not trying to sell this Die Hard. Yeah. That's the problem when these movies
I will give you
tank like that.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
they didn't know what they have. They wanted something else. You know,
I missed that pitch. Like, I wasn't really paying attention to like movie trailers and stuff like that, as far as like commercials or whatever.
If you watch the I remember the trailer thinking it was like going to be fucking Indiana Jones meets like fucking Magnum PI or something,
like an action movie, like
action, because it's like catch the adventure, catch the excitement, catch the hawk.
And there's no Tom Selleck in this role.
Yeah, there's no slapsticky, you know what I mean? If they were to have been like, this is Hudson, but you know, he's a wily cat. You know, if they would have given you one of those trailers or something, you would have known what you're in for. It would have been more.
I would never buy Tom Selleck as a cat burglar.
No. But to be fair, a lot of movies during this age, a lot of action movies were always tongue in cheek. There weren't like there was a lot of like jokes in there and whatever like that. So
even Lethal Weapon, they marketed it with the comedy as well as the action.
Yeah,
right.
48 Hours, they marketed with the comedy and the action.
But you don't go in like
48
Hours. You go into
slapsticky than this movie.
Yeah,
too.
48 Hours. You go into it thinking it's a comedy, action, whatever, just by Eddie Murphy's mere presence in the movie.
Of course,
Lethal Weapon. I never saw that as a comedy action. I just saw that as a straight action.
Watch the trailer. That's all I'm saying. Is watch the original trailer. And they play up like that kind of like, ooh, they couldn't like, you know, it's like the same line they use, I think, in the 48 Hours trailer is like, they couldn't like each other less. But I couldn't need each other more.
I watched.
And they always had to one it up like Joe Pesci and then Chris Rock. They always had
later on. Later on, it was more.
That's why Lethal Weapon is brilliant.
Yeah. But like I never went into those movies, and I don't think I've ever gone into an action movie expecting good comedy. I'm not expecting. If I get it, great.
Right.
If I get it,
great.
Yeah. But I'm expecting one-liners. I'm expecting a few chuckles here and there. But all in all, I'm expecting an entertaining movie, a movie that I can throw on and watch, and maybe rewatch again with friends or whatever the case may be. Or somebody says like, "Hey, you want to watch Hudson Hawk?" I'm not gonna say like, "Oh, fuck that movie."
Because people have it in their heads like, if I'm gonna watch comedy in an action movie like say Conan, it's only funny to me when Conan punches the shit out of the camel. It's like that type of humor,
or when Conan gets drunk or whatever.
Right. Yeah, the promised I was kingdom, like that. Yeah. That's funny. But it's like, it's almost like you're laughing at him in a certain
That's way. See, if Ivan Reitman directed Arnold Schwarzenegger and Hudson Hawk, that was an interesting movie.
Oh, Arnold is a cat burglar. Just piss on the sacred text, why don't you? Come on.
And that never worked for Arnie once.
We'll buy him as a pregnant man.
Yeah,
I would have. If you would have said Ivan Reitman directs Bruce Willis in this, I would have said okay. Ivan Reitman,
maybe, and I don't know who the director is. I don't know if it's the director. I remember it.
Was it Joel Silver or he just produced it?
No, Joel Silver was a producer.
I think the ingredients were there. Something didn't mix right.
Well, I mean,
you either want to see Bruce Willis do action, or you don't, or you want to see him do moonlighting.
Dustin, he's not a true action.
If you're not
Dustin, what you just said is so beautiful because I bought the same thing when Jean-Claude Van Damme was in Desert Heat. I love Desert Heat, but you're not funny, and I don't mean that offensively.
I know what you mean, right? Yeah.
Don't be funny. Be the Canadian cop who roundhouse kicks. Like, that's what I want. I don't want funny Van Damage. I want
But because of the success, I want to say success, and I don't even know. Like, and that maybe that came later or whatever like that. But like, there's only one action hero or action star that's ever been able to make a comedy that was funny and truly funny, and that was Schwarzenegger with Kindergarten Cop, or even Jingle All the Way. Those are like truly like they're funny, or even like Twins.
Eddie Murphy as not an action star, he's a comedian who did action movies.
Yeah, he's a comedian.
To be fair, this was directed by Michael Lemmon. I'm sorry to cut you off, Mickey.
No worries.
It was directed by Michael Lemmon, who also directed Heathers, Meet the Applegates, Airheads, Truth About Cats and Dogs, like a ton of television, Larry Sanders Show, West Wing. He's a very accomplished director.
Have you ever seen Meet the Applegates?
Yeah, it's very well directed and put together.
Yeah.
And
please tell me somebody else in here has seen Meet the Applegates.
Not since I was like fucking 10, but yes.
I think I bypassed that. I bypassed that.
So I will say this. Maybe you're right. Maybe some ingredients didn't homogenize, but maybe that's what makes this dish so memorable.
Right.
I agree with you on
Maybe
that.
know
like
what you're
it's
in
only in
for.
America can we make bombs of this magnitude, and this is one of the great H bombs. You got Heaven's Gate, Howard the Duck, and Hudson Hawk. They were all expected to do huge business, and they all just practically
What about like Nothing
kill.
But Trouble?
That's not an H.
Don't
H
you
bombs
dare.
don't begin with the letter H. Nothing But
Ah,
Trouble.
okay.
I don't think that was also expected to be like the biggest movie of the year or anything like that.
Oh, with the
Um,
cast, I believe, and they hyped it up, and like the soundtrack and everything.
Right.
Well, I mean, literally, like it's again, like I said, like I mean, you're even like stretching and having a hard time trying to figure out who could have played this better in '92. It was fun.
Matthew Modine, Jonathan Silverman.
Not
I'm just
even.
kidding, but
Yeah,
I'm just...
exactly. But you
I
know,
love
like
those guys.
it's
Yeah.
it's one of those movies that I think, and the sad thing about Bruce Willis's health now, this and that. But if you do a God forbid he passes away, whatever the case may be, and you're like, I want to watch some like Bruce Willis movies. Of course, your easy picks are going to be the Die Hards and stuff like that. But I guarantee you that one of those picks will be this, just because it's good to see him in this light.
This and the
I'll
last Boy
say if I had to choose between Hudson Hawk and A Good Day to Die Hard, I'm gonna pop in Hudson Hawk. It'll
Well,
tick me
yeah.
off, but I'll have a way better day than if I have to watch any of those other crappy. There's only 3 Die Hard movies, and I stand by it.
Yeah.
There's not even that many. Let's get real. Hudson Hawk
That's
has more of a
true.
reason to exist than Die Hard 2, Die Harder.
How
I
dare
love
you.
John
I like
Amos.
Die Hard too. I like Die Hard too.
It's just Die Hard 1 all over
Yeah.
again. It's just
Yeah.
the same
I'm
thing,
here
but
for
way
it.
less good.
Every
It's just a
movie
way
after
less
Die
good
Hard
Die
is
Hard.
Die Hard all over again. It just
Yeah.
depends on where it's at. Is it Die Hard on a submarine? Is it Die Hard on a train? Is it Die Hard on a bus?
Die Hard with
Is
the
it Die
sandwich
Hard
was
at,
great.
a kindergarten classroom? Like, it's all Die Hard.
I like Die Hard with the sandwich. That was fun. Samuel L. Jackson, the bombs in the park.
Mm.
Oh, with the
Yeah.
vengeance, yeah.
I always call that Die Hard,
Die Hard with a sandwich.
I thought you said. I was like, what is Die Hard?
So that should have been a happy meal. Could you imagine a world where like the action and R-rated violence of like the 80s movies continued so that like you had like Die Hard Happy Meals at McDonald's? That would be so good.
So great.
Dude, that would be so awesome.
But
No
this
crowd,
this,
but
mo-
there-
this
Hey,
movie,
can someone just AI that Die Hard Happy
I would
Meals
have
and just make
loved
it up?
action
McLean,
figures.
McDonald's, get
Oh, it's perfect. Yeah.
Hudson,
yeah.
Hudson Hawk action figures would have been kind of cool.
Oh,
You know
you're
what
giving me
this
mashup
what this
ideas.
movie
Shit.
kind of gives me a vibe of, and I
Video
didn't really like the movie so much. It's Dick Tracy-esque.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it's
can see that.
that kind of the way it was filmed, the way it was shot, and just like, again, I just can't like,
slapstickiness of it.
I just rewatched it today. It's on Pluto for free, so everybody go watch it. Whatever like that. And like literally, like I'm watching it again, and I didn't remember too much from the past, whatever that. So I do the rewatch, and I'm like, this is not a bad flick. And again, to get me to say that about an Andy McDowell movie, it's
got to be true.
That's the strength of Bruce Willis. Like
Can you
Bruce,
imagine a world where Bruce Willis was Dick Tracy though?
I think he would have been awesome. I think he would have been awesome.
That would have
Like,
been cool.
Warren Beatty did
Okay.
an okay job, but I mean that movie it was so bad from other aspects, but whatever.
Well, that's the thing that what's cool about what Bruce Willis did is he signed over all of his rights to AI. So once that gets even better, they can make Dick Tracy with him. They could make another.
Are you serious? He did that?
He was like the first actor to do it, if I remember correctly.
He gave his likeness.
He gave all his rights over to whatever and negotiated something. And yeah, in the future they're gonna be able to use him 100% making action movies or whatever they want to do. Make Hudson Hawk 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh man.
You bastard.
I mean, this
that's
sounds
the perfect title right there. Yeah.
This sounds
Dude, he's swinging
good.
on a star. Wait till he gets a new crew and it's Turbo and Ozone. Fuck.
Oh,
we're
that's
pitching.
right,
It's pitch
dude.
time, folks.
He's
Get your pitches in the chat.
He's
I
gonna
do just
know
wanna
every
say-
timetable of all those songs. He's like, that's the Turbo song, 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The moon
Oh
roof
my
took,
God, yes.
the roof walk took 3 minutes 18 seconds.
And then Van Damme shows up because he's an Electric Boogaloo. and he's doing the fucking
oh,
he's
the
got the
dance.
spandex
the
on.
battle rap,
Oh man,
the Ice T battle rap.
He's
Oh,
got the
combat,
suspenders in the front that
combat,
turns into the back thong from
combat,
Kickboxer.
Yes.
Yep.
combat,
Dude.
combat.
Why those guys try to fight me? So I do want to acknowledge in the chat the great Melanie Mullen is in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. She was
Hey,
there to
Mel.
correct us on Michael Lemon. Lemon. I don't know if I'm saying his name wrong. I feel like a total dork. But anyway, Gold's Code says ride the Hawk, Ian. Melanie says Mike Myers hates you too, Mickey. And Gold's Code says Mickey, you got my vote. He hasn't delivered a speech with that much passion since he got me too'd. Scotty B agrees on the Lethal Weapons upping the comedy. He also asked if they ever tried to get Stallone or Schwarzenegger for this movie. I imagine they may. Actually, no. I think this is something that Bruce Willis like developed on his own. He like knew the writer or something and was like, "This is the guy. I'm going to do this movie." You know, blah blah blah. I think he really pushed it through. If memory serves, I could be wrong. But Gold's Code has a pitch, so cover your ears, Ian. His pitch is Hawk is enjoying a cappuccino at a cafe until a blader crashes into him, ruining it. He then hops on a skateboard and takes place in the race, seeking revenge. It's Hudson born. Ah, I love it. So simple. You know what? You've got a Hudson Hawk and you've got a
Airhawk.
Cincinnati
That's
Snake.
a way better title. What is wrong with you,
Airhawk.
Sean?
Airhawk.
Airhawk.
Ooh, yeah, Airhawk is way
Damn it.
better. You're right. I got to give
Yeah.
you that one. But I
Or
think he
Born.
sometimes picks the worst title just to annoy you.
Well,
Yes.
Born on the Hudson.
Born on the
Ooh.
Hudson.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
if Oliver Stone did it. Yeah.
Born-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a Hudson Hawk movie by Oliver.
Yeah, Robin
I
Williams.
even like
uh,
the name, the name of the character Hudson Hawk, and the explanation of how he got his name. Like
I'm
it's
just saying, you've got on one hand, you've got something falling off my chair. You've got the Hudson Hawk, you've got the Cincinnati Snake. They're made to go together in a downhill race. And you get Turbo and Ozone on the crew, and it's just a crossover party. And I can feel Melanie rolling her eyes from home, even though she's only in the live chat. I know she's disgusted by my shameless crossovers, but I can't help myself, Melanie. It's a multiverse of fun, and I want everyone to play together, just like Ian's action figures. Young Iowa.
oh my
Ian.
god. Turbo could be dancing on the ceiling, like while he's trying to like steal like the Da Vinci Code or some shit like that.
Damn it.
Ooh.
Dude, now I just really want this. Now I'm gonna go to sleep at night dreaming of Hudson Hawk 2 Electric Boogaloo. Fuck. Dustin, you crushed it. You crushed it.
I will say this.
Fucking cannon is easy.
There is a Hudson Hawk. I know I pitched Ryan Reynolds earlier, which I think would be good. But like,
Soulless.
let's go with an SNL cast. And let's go with the Will Ferrell cast.
Oh god,
okay?
let's
Well,
not, please. Let's not.
Oh.
No.
You could have at least said Chris Kattan.
Oh.
I'd rather watch Corky Romano than this piece of garbage. But
Sir.
at least that had
Sir.
Tim Curry.
There's just no need for that kind of talk.
There is. This is Hudson Hawk we're talking about.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, students of Ian.
No. Hollywood made two mistakes. All right. One was Hudson Hawk. The other one, validating parking. All right. All of those things made this a terrible world. All right.
Validating parking is bad.
And in California, it is.
I don't know. You went over my head with the validating parking. It must be because I'm not in the tax bracket to impress your country club elitist friends with your leather-bound couches and your corncob pipes, sitting there trashing on Hudson Hawk. Like, why kick a movie like Hudson Hawk when it's down? It's it was a big budget movie. It did make money. We have fun with it. Let us enjoy ourselves.
No, this is what did it. Bruce Willis got so mad that nobody went to go see this movie. He was mad for so long that people.
You talked to him right after the premiere of this movie. Like,
I saw
how do you feel, Bruce?
Yeah, Bonfire of the Vanities he took in stride, but Hudson Hawk he was really offended.
He was, and it's like, but did you watch it? Were you there on the set? Like, what?
He probably thought the same thing that I thought. This is not a bad little movie.
Richard E. Grant is a fantastic villain. It's one of the best bad movies ever. I don't care what anyone says. And it's better to be that than to be just another Die Hard. Yeah. Fucking 40 years from now, no one's going to care a fart about Die Hard 2. They're going to care about the original and maybe With a Vengeance, but probably not even that one. It's going to be the original, and maybe it's, if you didn't see it at the time, there's a lot of people that just will never even understand like Die Hard without a frame of reference in time. You're coming into Hudson Hawk like 20 years too late, 10 years too late, whatever it is. Of course, you're not going to get it. It's not. It's too late. You missed out on the party. You were invited.
You've seen
you
things
were too.
that are
You were
way
too
better.
fucking cool and elite with your gas station pizza to show up in '92. You show up in like '03 and you fart all over this thing. And what
Yeah.
you want?
I fully admit it. I missed the train. I do think, had I seen this as when I was younger, had it been one of my movies where I redid it with my action figures, I'd probably have a better spot in my
fucking ain't right. You'd be sipping cappuccino right now.
I will fully say Hudson Hawk, though, does belong on the shelf way more than any of these straight to video. He's in it for 3 minutes, but he's on the poster as a floating head crap that he's doing from like, Paraguay, like any of those movies he did like a couple years back. Hudson Hawk deserves to have a better spot than those movies.
Yeah, he's got a lot worse movies.
Like, you're not gonna watch G.I. Joe over this.
No, I would watch Hudson Hawk over that. It's just, but again, I think Chris is right. I missed the boat on it. I appreciate its original.
Oh, wow. Interestingly enough, it was written by Dan Waters. Melanie Mullen in the chat lighting us up. It was their second team after Heathers, but did not go over well. And yes, Hudson Hawk was written by the same person who wrote Heathers and Batman Returns. They can't all be winners. Well, Batman Returns is a movie I could dissect for a really, really, really long time. It's a brilliant mix of incredible and what the fuck.
Yeah, I didn't like Batman Returns so much.
And maybe that was a mistake. I mean, Heathers is a comedy, but it's a serious comedy.
That's a dark comedy.
Yeah, and it's a dark comedy, but it's also in a weird way Heathers. And this is my opinion and my opinion only for those at home. Heathers to me is a satire, and I think they were trying to do the same thing for the crime movie, and maybe it just didn't hit the way it was supposed. Maybe they were trying to satirize it too much.
I don't know. I mean, I know you guys keep saying that it was a satire, it was a spoof, or whatever. I don't see it. Like, I literally just watch this movie and just go like, it's just a movie. It's an action comedy, or like, it's an action movie. It's got some comedy in it. It's a flick that stands on its own. It's genre breaking, so to speak. What?
This movie makes If Looks Could Kill with Richard Grieco way better.
Get out of here. Get out of here right now.
No,
there's two masterpieces of cinema. I mean,
right
they're
now,
perfect
right
films.
Now, I am not going to accept you shitting on the great name of Grieco.
No, I'm saying that's better. I'm saying that like that movie, it's like I wish maybe Hudson Hawk had been more like If Looks Could Kill, because If Looks Could Kill just says I am what I am. Like this, and it is having fun. They weren't
listen. Bruce Willis can say welcome to the party, pal, but no one parties as hard as the Grieco. I'm just saying, like, you can't compare it to the god-like status of Grieco and say, like, well, I wish he could be more like, moving the fucking weather and moving mountains and continents in the earth. Grieco is another treasure that the world didn't fucking understand. They didn't know what they had, And
let me ask you this: in a pitch, is there a serious Hudson Hawk?
Is there a serious?
Is there a serious?
To me,
that's not where I would go with it.
Well, I know, but could you though? I mean, and if so, who would you?
It would be National Treasures. To me, I feel like a serious Hudson Hawk would be National Treasures or Da Vinci Code. It would be something like similar to that.
Yeah, and it would suck, and it would be terrible. It would be no fun, and that's exactly what Hollywood's been doing for like the last 20 years now. Like, fuck those movies. This at least has fun with it, and like
the only serious Hudson Hawk I want is Thief with James Caan. I'll take that. You
got me there.
I will take that, but the other, you know what I mean? It's two completely separate genres.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, we
Right.
normally do the everything as a Nick Cage movie, but it's like they've already done it, like National Treasure, all these movies, and
Exactly.
again, they suck. I couldn't
I don't-
bring myself to watch those
Right.
movies on a dare.
I did not
Now,
hate. I
James
did not
Caan
hate
as
National
Hudson
Treasure.
Hawk.
I thought
That
National
might be
Treasure was
funnier.
good too.
I
What's that?
shouldn't say they suck. I haven't seen them, but they just look so horrendous to me. Like
They're not
Sometimes
bad.
I find the existence of a movie offensive. I know, Ian. I know it's like we're buddies again. I know, and
Here we are.
all is well. Yes, but at any rate, getting away from all that shit, there is some more pitches in the chat. The great Alex Bonafonte has a pitch. He says Hudson Hawk lives a quiet married life and begins coming to terms with his unique abilities. He moonlights as a nearly invincible vigilante in M. Night Shyamalan's Unhawkable. Oh my god, that's fantastic. You know what? My favorite Shyamalan movie was Unbreakable, actually.
It
like
was,
Sixth Sense
yeah.
is good. And like he's done a
Unbreakable
lot of like
is-
other like good to mid, whatever movies. And then some
Unbreakable
real
is my
stinkers.
favorite. How can you
But
go
yeah.
wrong? Bruce Willis, Samuel Jackson. Come on.
How do you
Yeah,
go
Signs
wrong?
was an
You
abomination
do a whole
for me.
movie about talking about a fight that you never do. That's how you go wrong.
Well, I don't know. I just thought it was a unique take on
That's
a
M. Night
genre film.
Shyamalan. I mean, like, not like, I mean, like, it's the best movie that he had to me. Like, I do like Sixth Sense. I do like Signs. I'm
Oh, I
not
hate
saying.
Signs.
Listen, I'm not saying the guy is a great director, writer, and I mean, no, his movies suck. But I'm saying, like, of those sucky movies, if I had to watch one again, I would watch Unbreakable. Like,
But like still, Ian, to even say, could there be a serious Hudson Hawk? That's like, could there be a Van Damme movie where he doesn't like kick things, You just like take like the fun out of any, you know what I mean? Like, no, that's just terrible. Like that's
right.
awful. That's the last
Like
thing I would
Maggie-
ever want.
I'm looking at the
Maggie
poster
with
behind me, right?
Schwarzenegger.
I would like, to be serious, like, it can't be done, but in a world, I would love if they had done this, like if we had gotten a sequel of Hudson Hawk with Danny Aiello and Bruce Willis, and they're old men, and they're still trying to do this like cat burglar thing, like they get caught up again, and like, or maybe like Andy McDowell gets like the Vatican, like obviously in the end, like,
Interesting.
she's with Bruce Willis or whatever like that. But if the Vatican reaches out to her, because obviously she left the Vatican, like listen, we need you to get the Hawk. We need, to protect some heirloom or whatever the case may be from another cat burglar that's trying to, get this. So we need the best cat burglar we know in the world to protect this, to stop that cat
Just
burglar.
appreciate if there had been a sequel that Bruce Willis did, like completely not ignoring it, but being like, y'all didn't get it, but I'm gonna have fun doing Hudson Hawk again. I almost, by the nature of that defiance, I would maybe appreciate this more.
I'm convinced that Hudson Hawk could be a Netflix movie like now, like meaning like if Bruce Willis was in good health and stuff like that, and they decided let's just do Hudson Hawk 2 and Danny Aiello, and I mean, obviously we can't do it. We can't do it, but I'm just saying, like, you could do it, like obviously you can pay tribute, if you want. But I'm convinced that this could be easily a Netflix movie and people would watch it and they would like it or like entertain. It's not like Bruce Willis, again, doesn't offend. His movies do not put me in a spot where I'm like, oh, fuck that movie. Like, they just don't. Like, Bruce Willis is.
They didn't yet when Hudson Hawk came out. He hadn't gotten to that point of his career yet for me.
But like, can you name a movie that like you like literally are disgusted that Bruce Willis was in and like you would never like?
There's I'm gonna shock people, but like
North.
almost like everything after this, I'm like pretty much like
Yeah, but you don't sit there vehemently going like that was the worst piece of shit and like, this is whatever.
If you make me watch like The Jackal or something, I might,
Yeah,
12 Monkeys is good.
But I'm saying like
like
I'm not telling you to have to rewatch it. I'm just saying like, hey, what like I don't know. I don't think you're going out of your way to say a Bruce Willis
Later
movie.
on in his career, he did
Bandits
a
or
lot of straight to video cop movies in New York where he's protecting somebody for a minute. He's
obviously,
phoning it in like
you
a
know what?
motherfucker.
Cop out was another one.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Expendables,
those.
Expendables like 2 or
Yeah.
3 or whatever one. Like
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
Well, that's
fun.
what I'm
he-
saying.
He
Like
fun
that
movie.
was
But-
the
but
period.
Later
even
in his
that-
career, he's phoning it in.
But even that, like when he did Expendables, and I love Expendables. I haven't seen the new one yet. I will see it, and I'm just a action junkie in that way. Like, you know, I'll give it all to me. Like, I don't care. Like, you know, like, yes, I want to be addicted to this, and I want to keep taking this drug of called action movies that are everybody else hates, but I love them. You know, but like even when he showed up on Expendables, I was like, cool, Bruce Willis. Like, you know, like I want that shine on Bruce Willis. Like the man never gets enough props for the acting that he did do. Like Fifth Element.
Well, he did. I will
stuff like
he did,
that.
though. Death Becomes Her. That man deserved an Oscar.
Yeah, that
I
movie's
stand
great.
by that. Death Becomes Her. That was Bruce Willis. Like that is the man right there.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah, no, he's a hell of an actor. Yeah.
he's a hell
Oh,
of an
yeah.
act, and like, and you, it's only now when you realize that he can never act again.
Yeah, it's
That
sad.
you literally go back and we're talking about Hudson Hawk, and it's like, and I
Yeah,
rewatched
now we
this.
appreciate it.
I rewatched this just today with those same eyes now. Like, man, I can't believe that I'll never be able to watch Bruce Willis in a movie, be it good, be it bad, whatever. But he was a
Yeah.
part of my childhood. He's a part
Yeah.
of my
sure.
my growing up. So it's like literally like we talk about, like, you know, giving people flowers and stuff. And I know it's an overplayed statement, but it's so true. And he's so like underrated. We only think of him as Die Hard, maybe Moonlighting, whatever the case may be. But it's like, dude, he did some great movies, maybe some not so great movies, but in the end, he did the best he could with what he was given.
I
Yeah.
think that
Sin
love
City,
that you,
Sin City.
yeah, yeah.
We're better
I think
off
that
for
love that you
Pulp
have for him,
Fiction.
that
Look Who's
everyone
Talking.
else,
Like,
right, yeah. Yeah, that love that you have for him right now, a lot of people, you know, feel the same way, I think. And I think him signing over his AI rights, you know, he knows what's going on in the future, and it's because, I mean, let's face it, that's where a lot of movies are going to be going. They're going to be going that sort of create your own content or AI, whatever, and it's going to get better and better, and it's going to, and you know, 5-10 years from now or whatever, they're going to make another Die Hard with them or something, Hudson Hawk 2 with them, and people are going to watch on Netflix. So, you know, they'll just put it straight on there and make it a Netflix movie, and it'll be a whole new thing for people to enjoy.
kind of scary to think
Although-
about.
I got.
It is definitely
it
something.
is.
I want to ruin this,
But
for
it's coming.
It's almost like a deep fake world.
Oh,
Right.
it's gonna be bad.
It's coming. It's going to
They
be.
all start
You're going to
signing
be able
those
to create your own content. Just like I want to watch Hudson Hawk to Electric Boogaloo. Let's you know, and you just fucking combine. You know,
Beep 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 beep.
it'll do exactly, and it'll make the movie in 2 seconds, and you get to watch
But
it.
I mean, like, I say that it's kind of, you know, crazy or whatever like that, but at the same time, like, you know,
Won't be
all
able to
these
hold a flame.
all these crazy mashups and all these crazy pitches that we do, a lot of them I'm like, yo, I would watch that now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see.
Oh, for
this.
sure.
Of course,
But that's like you know,
It's
consider
almost
Ken-
like
Right.
it's almost like a dream world. Like, what would have
Right.
happened if like
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was in a Batman, well, not Batman, he's been in a Batman movie, but if he was in a Marvel movie now, like what if he was Thanos?
Oh yeah.
in terms of, you know, here's the thing. This is where AI is I'm not worried about is, you know, there's a thing beyond taste and culture, like writing or drama or music or anything. I think you need to be filled with surprises that people didn't see coming. Obviously, that's why it's a surprise. But you need to be filled with surprises that instantly feel good and refreshing. And I think
Right.
it's going to be a long time before AI can really deliver
Right.
on
Totally-
that. And I'm not even saying that
Right.
Hudson Hawk truly does. I
I
love this movie, but part of what I love about it is that it's like one of the great H bombs. You know,
I totally hate
Right. Oh yeah.
like, I mean, like, and not to like go sidetracking here, where we're talking about this AI thing, like, you know, in a movie format, okay, I probably would be more forgiving of that. But in a music format, I'm just like, man, just you're taking the soul out of the music by just generating something.
and
that
with
you-
screenwriting, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that too. But
Yeah.
like it's just
I
this
think-
crazy world.
I think there's just going to exist in two things. There's going to be human created content and artificially created content. I think it's just going to,
Yeah.
and you're just going to
It's a
enjoy
great
both
tool.
things.
You know,
Right,
not
exactly.
everyone
It's a
can. Not
tool,
everyone has the
right, and not
time or
every- right.
the ability
It's
to learn
gonna-
how to paint. But if you
But-
want to do like beautiful hand painted posters, you can
Right.
like AI that shit
Right.
up right now, and it's gorgeous. Like,
But-
if you want to go take 35mm photographs of stuff and develop them yourself in a dark lab, you can do that.
You
know what I
certainly
mean? Like,
can.
you know, that's still there. That
And
ability,
that's
because
something
you
that
know
I
what mean?
think people like, will appreciate. I mean, let's say you got an AI Hudson Hawk and people liked it, or like new kids like were like, wow, this is kind of cool, whatever the case may be. And obviously you're gonna spice it up for today's crowd or whatever the case may be. And then somebody can say, like an old head like me can go like, yeah, you've liked that, you should watch the original Hudson Hawk.
Yeah.
And
Made by
maybe
humans.
they go back and they watch it and maybe they like it just as much. You're going to get somebody that's going to say like, oh, I like the OG better than the AI. Just kind of
Right.
like, like you want to be snobby, whatever you want to think about it. But there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, I don't like the new music today, but I like the old classics and whatever that. You're going to get an old head that teaches kids, hey, you like that AI Hudson Hawk? Let me show you this Hudson Hawk. And oh, by the way, that same actor did this movie, and you show them Die Hard, or you show them this or whatever that, and they're going to eat it up.
Right. Yeah.
well,
I mean, it's going to be a whole new world.
well, before we get there, I do want to
ruin
pitch
this for
that human
everybody.
beings write some, Hudson Hawkage for us to munch on, because the Hawkamania runs wild, and I want to know what the world's gonna do when Hawkamania runs wild on them. I would just there's only two ways I can see this going. Either you give Trey Parker and Matt Stone complete creative control, or you give like David Wayne and like those guys complete creative control, and you just let them absolutely fucking run with it and make the funniest shit ever. It would have to be about the next generation, because Danny Aiello is no longer with us and Bruce Willis is retired. And that's really
David
hard.
Wayne's?
If you want to go straight comedy with a little bit of action, like I'll give you a name that would be off the wall, but I think that would be genius, and that's Tracy Morgan.
Yo, Mickey, you crazy.
I would love Tracy Morgan as
Probably
being
too
a
old
cat-
to play
being
Bruce
a
Willis'
cat
son,
burglar.
though.
No, but like
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like
What you talking about, Vatican?
it would be Hudson Hawk, the new generation, and let's say like maybe a company, like you talked about the CIA, maybe they're like, all right, we need the new Hudson Hawk, so we're gonna like find an agent or whatever like that. Jersey guy, they go back to the well. Tracy Morgan, like is he Jersey or New York? I forget. but
Hoboken.
yeah.
I'm from Hoboken.
But dude, I would love it. I would think that would be so freaking hysterical. Like, give
That would
me
be funny.
some of that. Like, if you're just gonna
That would
like go completely off the wall and you're gonna like, I mean, like, you're Hudson Hawk, the next generation kind of deal.
See,
And
I
then
would
I
almost watch. I would almost watch the Team America puppet version too. Like, just push
I
it
was
even
thinking
further.
that when you said Trey Parker, Matt Stone.
Yeah, like
yeah.
totally.
Oh, you
Like
could
Team
totally do
America is a perfectly written script. Like those guys could have like tuned up Hudson Hawk, and really pumped up the roids. It would have been 24-inch Python Hawk.
Mhm.
I think even like like Kevin Smith could write a good Hudson Hawk.
Right. It'd be a fun.
I don't
comic
know.
book
I don't
series,
think it's his.
you know?
I don't think it's in his. I
I
mean,
don't
I
know.
would be curious to
You
see it.
he's a fan of it. He's got to be a fan.
Yeah.
of
I mean, I know like his whole thing with Bruce Willis has been documented and this and that, but I think that those two have kind of since kind of patched it up, or
they
maybe
did.
he's
Yeah.
so it is what it is. But like, if you're gonna do an AI Hudson Hawk, I mean, like, it'd be kind of cool. Give him a crack at it.
Ugh. We're not pitching AI fucking
Yeah.
takes on things. It's terrible.
I'm gonna ruin.
What's the
I
world
want to
coming
ruin
to?
this poster for everybody.
Okay, ruin it.
French Stewart. You can't unsee it now.
If French Stewart was, he would be actually a good villain. He would be a good like candy bar villain. Like
that's the pitch I want to see. I want to see the French Stewart Hudson Hawk version.
But
They won't be the
what if you
rip off. You don't have
That's
what if you did
God.
what if you did Hudson Hawk with like his kid? Him and Andy McDowell have a kid, and that kid is now the new Hudson Hawk.
And Danny Aiello had a kid, and they're boys,
Yeah.
and they're like old crew. old Jersey, you know, up to
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know who these next generation people could be, but if you cast one of the guys from Jersey Shore, I'm gonna hawk all over the floor. It's gonna be disgusting.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't
not
think you
gonna
could
be
do
fun.
that.
Yeah,
It
I
probably
know.
right now, if we're talking about it, it would probably be somebody from either Stranger Things cast or Cobra
Oh,
Kai
too
cast,
young, too young.
or the Cobra Kai
Or
No
cast.
tweener, no tween. Yeah, okay, all right. Cobra Kai cast. All right, give me Gianni, DiCenzo or whatever, Dimitri, and
Yeah.
Robbie. Yeah, perfect. Tanner Buchanan and Gianni DiCenzo. There you go. Boom. Get hawked. No disrespect to Jacob Bertrand, who plays the actual
You
Hawk.
you could literally have the Hawk be the Hawk.
Oh man,
I would not
there's your
complain in the
matchup.
slightest.
There it
Get
is.
John
your matchup
Hurwitz and
styles.
Josh Heald and Hayden Schlossberg on it. I love it. I did actually a Hudson Hawk mashup with Hawk on it, and it's on the very
Did
poster
you?
that's behind Ian. But
Okay.
because it's so small, like I had to make Hawk's head 5 times too big for anyone to even like register that it's him. And I'm like, this is too much even for me. And I love
So
bobbleheads on my mashups. That's just like my style. But at any rate, we are out of time, and we were talking about bobblehead mashups, so it's probably for very good reason. But before we wrap things up, I do want to give you guys a chance to let the people at home know what you got coming up in the works. Anything going down at Retro Fiend?
yeah, we got a Revenge of the Ninja Part 3 in the works. That's coming soon. We just released Jesse V. Johnson. That's up there. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, big action guy. And yeah, more stuff in the pipes in the works coming. So keep checking. Love to
Nice.
see you folks over there. Appreciate it.
Mickey, Ian, anything coming up in your corners of the world?
Just working on a soundtrack.
Oh shit.
Okay. Well, we'll have to
All
learn more
right.
about that next week. Ian, what's going on with you?
Yes, do to stay tuned for my newest article on the B Movie Challenge for the classic, ever so amazing Peter Cushing killing slasher movie Corruption. All right.
Ooh.
Heads will roll for that one.
All right.
There you go.
All right.
Followed by
Figuratively and literally.
I want to see
have you
this
done
already.
Scanners too?
Oh,
Like
scanners. We got to do
also, or
scanners.
scanners
Dude.
two.
No,
Like
no, there's
Scanners
Scanners
is big.
also. Scanners
Aye,
also.
aye.
I've
We
not
got to
done
do scanners.
And
I
brain
can't
to
scan.
do scanners.
And
Michael Ironside, like
I'm gonna pitch Scanner Cop, the return.
Dude.
oh my gosh,
Dude.
Scanner Cop is good, man.
It'll be right after Hudson Hawk.
Yeah.
So
Anything but Hudson Hawk.
no, Hudson Hawk. It's gonna be wonderful.
Next
It's
week.
the movie that Hulk Hogan needed. Maybe that would have been the
Ooh,
even
this very well
even more
could have been.
spectacular disaster. I don't know.
He could have totally been Butterfinger. He would have been Butterfinger.
Oh yeah, he would have been. You're right. That's true. All right. Well, you Fandom fans might want to come back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. when we go full Neeson for our Darkman episode.
Now
As always,
that's
if you
cool.
enjoyed this video,
Now I'm in.
Ian's back and we're friends yet again.
Thank God.
As always, if you enjoyed this video, the best way to help is to smash that like button and leave a comment telling us what movie or TV franchise that you want us to cover on a future episode of VCR Redux. And since you're already doing that, you might as well go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow Retro Fiend Radio, Fandom Spotlight, the Howl 9 Network, and Pop Culture Punk. Till then, back up those Betamax, rewind those Laserdiscs, and we'll see you at the movies.
Hudson Hawk wouldn't steal Hudson Hawk.